Hi, this is Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I showed you how to crochet a circle, making a flat circle that was completely round and did not have any corners or points on it. So going along with that, I want to make a cover for this glass jar. And so I'll need to start with a circle and then carry up the sides. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm using very chunky yarn. This is Bernat Blanket yarn and an 8mm crochet hook. And I'm going to start off with the magic circle. And if you're not sure how to do that, I have a video teaching you how to do that. So you can go back and watch that video, and that will show you very slowly how to do it. So I'm going to start off with 6 single crochets inside my circle. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and pull by tail to close up that ring. And now I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each of these 6 stitches. So starting with my first stitch, I have the front loop, where's the back? Okay, so there's 1 and 2. And I'm going to mark my first stitch. It's kind of hard to see the stitches because this yarn is so chunky, but at the same time, that can be a good thing because it'll hide any mistakes. So sometimes it's nice to use a good chunky yarn like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if we put our jar on that, it's still definitely too small. So we need to continue increasing and making our circle. So now I'm going to do crochet 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch and carry on that way, and then I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I'm back and I have 18 stitches, and if I put it on there, it's close but not quite. So I'm thinking maybe we need to go up to 24 stitches. So to do 24 stitches, we will single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then do our increase in that 3rd stitch, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches and increase in the next stitch. So I'll start you out with the first go round of that. So here's 1, And I'll mark that so I don't lose my beginning stitch. And then 2. And then my increase in this 3rd stitch. So 1, 2, and that same stitch. And I'm going to continue around so that I have 24 stitches, and I'll meet you back at the end of that. Okay, and here I have 24 stitches, and if I put my bottle on there, that definitely seems perfect. And now we want to have the sides start coming up. So what I want to do to make a difference so that you have going from the flat to now coming up straight is I want to crochet into the back loop, just this round, into the back loop of each stitch. So I know again it's kind of hard to see on this yarn, but if you see here that you have your 2 stitches, this is the front loop and this is the back loop. So we're just going to crochet just into that one loop and leave the other loop alone. And then that'll help to kind of differentiate where the wall is going to be. And so I'm going to stop my increasing. I'm only going to have 24 stitches, but I will crochet them all into the back loop just for this one round. And then I will continue up with 24 stitches to build those side walls up. So I'm going to take out my marker and go into the back loop, just that one stitch. And again, I want to mark my first stitch so that when I come back to it, I'll know which one it is. And again, just going into the back loop of each stitch. So I'm not doing any increases. I'm just doing one single crochet into every stitch. But instead of going under the 2 loops, I'm just going under the 1 back loop. So I'm going to continue going around, and I will meet you back at the beginning. So I went around and you can see it's already starting to get taller. I just wanted to show you on the other side. You can see the ridge from where I just did the back loop. So what that'll do is this will sit flat and this will make kind of like an indentation so that you can see where I just did the back loop, and now it's going to start going vertically rather than horizontally. But you can see this is the loop that I left unworked. And if you were doing a different type of project, you could even go back and do something decorative in this loop if you wanted to. So I'm just going to leave it because I'm just doing a simple jar cover. But if you were doing something else or you wanted to do something decorative along there, you certainly could pick up those loops and do something along there. So now I'm going to just do one single crochet in every stitch, 24 stitches around, and I'm just going to keep going, and every once in a while check and see how far I get to where I reach the top of the jar. And then I'm thinking I might do a row of decrease stitches for where it indents here, just to kind of help it to go up around the neck of the bottle. the jar. So I'm gonna just, as I said, just go around for a few rows, and I'll meet you back here when it's a little bit higher. See you soon. Okay, so I did 4 rows and it came up pretty high. I think I need to do 1 more row and then do my decrease. I was debating about trying to crochet it with this in here, but I think it might be too difficult to like get my hook in, and I don't think there's really going to be room. So I'm going to take it back out and continue on doing 1 more row, and then I'll check it again and then see if I should do a decrease row. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. Okay, I just did another row, so that was 5 rows, and I think that's better. Excuse my clock. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do 1 decrease row. I don't think I'll have any problems getting it in here doing a decrease, but maybe I'll see if I can crochet with it on. So to do the decrease, I stopped at 2 increases. So I'm going to do 1, actually, let me mark my first stitch. Okay, and then 2 regular crochets, and then to decrease, I like doing, I think it's called an invisible decrease, where you only go into the front loop. So I'm going to go into this loop here, and then this loop here. It's kind of thick. And then pull through both those loops. And now I just decreased 1 stitch. So again, I'm going to do 1 regular stitch, 1 regular stitch, and then go through these 2 front loops, which is hard to do with this chunky yarn. Come on. There we go. And then pull through both of them. And regular crochet, single crochet from that. And then 1, 2, don't fall out. And then my decrease. And then 1, 2, it's definitely harder to do this with the jar in it. And it probably would stretch enough for me to get the jar back in, but I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous that I won't get it back in. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. All right, so that would be a decrease, and 1, 2, 1, that would be the decrease. Wait a second. That would be a decrease, 1 and 2. This would be a decrease. So this is the second one. Well, I hope I just did that right. I stopped paying attention. I wasn't sure if I did 1 or 2. Come on. There we go. And my last 2. And the decrease. And now I should be back to 18 stitches. And it looks like maybe 1 or 2 more rows, and that'll be it. Maybe 2 more. So mark my first stitch. Okay, I'm just going to keep going around, and I'll come back to you after I'm completely around the jar one more time and see how much of the glass is still showing. All right, so that was 1 more row, and I think if I did another row, it would come up maybe too high. I don't know. I guess I can always take it out, right? So let's see what 1 more row looks like. I can always try to wrap it down inside too. There goes Zoe snoring again. I guess my voice droning on just puts her to sleep. Let's see. All right, I'll continue around and then I'll come back to you when I reach my stitch marker. Okay, so that comes up a little bit above the top, but that's all right. So I'm gonna snip my yarn here, leaving a long enough tail to weave in. Pull that through, and then I'm going to do the invisible join, I think it's called. Let me raise this up a little bit higher. Okay, so a nice thick needle here. So what I'm going to do now is come under the 2 bars of that stitch and then go down just the 1 bar. And that's going to make sort of a seamless join. I mean, because it's so chunky, you can kind of see the height difference between the stitches since we went in a spiral. Excuse my clock. And now I'll just weave in my end and hide it along in there, and that'll be my bottle cover. So I hope you learned something. If you like this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.